Hey guys, I just want to reach out, say good morning to you. I'm outside in my favorite place. I've got so many thoughts racing through my mind this morning. I'm thinking about how we take, how do I put this? When we take the bitter with the sweet, you realize that it's funny because when we come into this life, as we all know now, that we're all from the same creator. But like I've told you, it's kind of like you jump out of an airplane without a parachute. That wind is blowing, and I'm going to hope and pray that it doesn't take my umbrella with it and my computer. That will be a sight and a travesty. Anyway, I'm trying to say we came here knowing, but we got our cap, our thinking cap, removed, and we're having to work our way backwards from that place of knowing and learn it all over again, if that makes sense. You think about where you are now, and that saying of it's the journey, not the destination. You know, we get into that because we're surrounded by it. You know, the biggest and the best, the latest and the greatest. You've got to be better than your last whatever. And that just, there's no peace in that. There's no rest. So the value in what you've gone through, this is not to discount what you've endured, but it tells you it's what you've learned, is it not? You couldn't be who you are, where you are, without having learned what you now know. Does that make sense? So we come here knowing, but it gets taken from us. It's the way the divine has designed it. It's as odd as it is. I get so exasperated with it, but you know, it's the way it is. I used to say the divine sits around in like a movie theater with their popcorn and drinks, and they get a good show. And that's kind of cruel too, if you think about it. You know, I know it's kind of screwy, but that's exactly right. What is something else I read this morning? Something from Abraham, and I thought this was most beautiful. I will find it and share it with you guys, and I think you'll resonate with it. When Esther says, many around you will be so quick to point reality to you and say, you've got to face the facts. You've got to look at what is. And I love what Abraham's comeback was to this. If you are able to only see what is, then by the law of attraction, you will create more of what is. You must be able to put your thoughts beyond what is in order to attract something different and something more. And that comes from what you've been through, because you know, right? When you know better, you do better. Oh man, I mean, that just, you know, as you guys know, I'm a writer, I'm an artist, I paint, and I paint animals, and mine, so far. I paint mine. But I write, and you write what you know. And I've been writing a book since I was 13 years old. And I know I've waited, you know, I've revised and revived a million times since I was 13. And I would have put out a dozen books by now, because I keep going back and fixing it, because I'm realizing that to just write about one's life is not as important as writing about one's life from the perspective of what one has learned from the pain and the strife one has gone through. The major tower moment in my life was my divorce. Back in 2016, when it was finalized. And since that time, talk about being kicked out of a parachute, or I mean out of a plane without a parachute. That's what it felt like. Yeah. Here, let me see. Sorry about that. Let's see if I can. This is going to be much better than just looking at me. My bird feeder over there. I want you to get a good look at that. Sorry about that. That's so beautiful, the bird feeder. But I'm still here. But, you know, you have to go through the hard things. If life was always easy, there would be no growth, correct? My mother always would say, you got to take the bitter with the sweet. And my mother knew bitter as well. I grew up in a home without a dad. She also grew up without a father. And it's hard, you know, having two people in your life, a man and a woman, when we all have masculine and feminine inside of us. I'm talking about that obvious man and woman who you get different flavors, different takes of life from. My mom had to be both for us. And I will say, that wind is blowing. Yeah, my husband provided well for me and the kids. But there were so many other things. Anyway, not to get into that. But we learned, my kids and I learned when we got kicked out of the airplane. Many, many things. So our lives are not, validation. Our lives are not so much about, that's my neighbor's dog. Our lives are not so much about what we've been through as what we have learned from what we've been through. And we've learned to value every single thing that we have. Every single step along the way has taught us to value what we have. And what was my post for today on Twitter? What do you get when you cross a human? Or when you cross nature with a human? Or cross a human with nature? You get happiness. And what do you get from happiness? You get joy. And the joy that you can spread from your own heart space out into this universe, because the universe is waiting for it. When you spread that joy, you guys, you can light a fire. Your light will shine brighter than the sun, and you will affect everything in your path. The ripple effect is infinite. And what did I see this morning on my walk? Oh my goodness, it's just that way this morning. It just keeps opening my inside, my, what do you call it, your psyche. I mean, it keeps, the layers of the onion are just peeling off. The peace that you want. I want to say, I'm holding my umbrella, isn't as great as the desire for that peace, if that makes sense. That craving for that peace, that desire for that peace, for that happiness. So whatever you have to do, I'm gonna say get outside, because it's gonna make a difference. Get on your Pinterest board, create your vision boards, you guys. Get out your journals. Instead of banging the drum, I had so many journals in my life that I burned because I couldn't lift them. The weight was so heavy. And now my journals are as light as a feather. Write about things that make you happy. Abraham has suggested a list every day. Make a list of positive aspects. And you go out into your garden and look around you and you say, hello, butterfly bush. You are my favorite. Hello, Dusty Miller. You are my favorite. And right over there, you know what landed there just a bit ago? A big yellow and black monarch. It was gorgeous. But hello, monarch, you are my favorite. Hello, Jerusalem sage over there. You are my favorite. Hello, bird feeder. Oh, you are my favorite. Had a blue jay come, and you know what blue jays stand for? Assertiveness, strength. Stand your ground. Stand in your power. Do not be afraid to speak your truth. Lots of blue jays. I know I have regulars. I said, honey, I need to go to the store. I would love to be able to cover my table over there with peanuts just for you. And I'll be able to soon enough. But for now, I've got suet. And you know, all birds love suet. But the blue jays, my regulars, love my suet. But start banging the drum of happiness and gratefulness and watch how much further that gets you than sitting around in the doldrums and the dump. You're not going to get very far. Anyway, I've gone way over my time. This is a subject that is best talked about over and over and over for a long time. I just can't do it right now. I think you guys will get bored with that, but I hope I have inspired you to look at the good things in your life. Acknowledge those things that have caused you pain, but don't live there. Don't pull up a chair and allow it to stay. I need to eat breakfast. My stomach is growling. I got so happy from my walk that I grabbed my computer and came and sat down and began to write. And I thought, I've got to speak to my people first. So you guys have a beautiful day. And remember that life is full of lessons that turn into blessings. Okay? You want change? Be that change. Make the difference because you can. Don't join the crowd and do what they're doing. Inspire the crowd with what you know, because you've learned so much and you're still learning, and we're still healing every single day, because no 2 days are the same. The day that you spent yesterday is different from the day you're spending today. Mark my word. Okay? I'll leave you with a little bird on the feeder. Oh, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. You guys, I'm sending you peace and love, surrounded by the brightest white light. Okay? Push it forward. Share it. You guys, please like and subscribe and share with people. I hope I helped you. That's my mission. Because boy, oh boy, I'm so grateful every single day for what I know. So grateful. Talk to you sooner than later. And have a beautiful day today, because you can. There's room for everybody. Share that love. Spread that love. Spread the love, not the pain and discomfort and the hatred and the anger. Spread the love. You get more flies with honey than you do with vinegar, my grandma used to say. Bye.